8th for you in the West?
The Los Angeles Clippers, very stagnant free agency. I think Russell Westbrook being signed is probably the only thing that made across the newsroom. Health is the only. They don't really need anything. It's health, just a clean bill of health, and that's something they cannot get in the last 4 years that Kawhi and PG have been together. I looked at this. There's this stat that came around that the minutes they've shared together, they're much less than like other combos that are known as injury-prone combos. So and another year added to them, another is just not going to make it any easier. So what you mentioned before about trust, it's too much unknown for me. The linking to James Harden, he's again forcing himself to another team in a short amount of space. Even if they do get him, there's nothing that he really does that's going to make me think that the Clippers are going to be a genuine chance. Too much unknown. I'm just going to expect a repeat of the last 4 years, if not even worse, because they're another year older. There's nothing you can see, surely, that about the Clippers that gives you any faith or confidence that they're going to be any different from years gone by, surely.
Yeah, I had them 7th on my list, just ahead of the Timberwolves. You can't trust PG and Kawhi to play more than 50 games. I think, look, if you could tell me they were going to play 65, 70 games plus, both of them, then you can make the argument that this is still a top 4 roster in the West. The Harden thing, I disagree with you a little bit. I actually think it's going to be a really good thing if they get Harden, just because of their regular season floor. Like, I do think that if PG and Kawhi have injury issues again, which is probably going to be the case, then I actually think, I wouldn't be surprised if they are 10th at the end of the regular season and just miss the playoffs entirely. Like, that's how kind of close this Western Conference is. Like, if the Thunder and the Pelicans, who I have 10 and 11, are better than the Clippers next season, I'm probably not going to be shocked. I'll probably think, yep, PG, Kawhi played less than 50 games each, and the Pelicans and Thunder are talented teams and end up being better than them. That wouldn't shock me. So I do think it would, in that instance, it would shock me if Harden was also in the mix, because Harden, for all the issues surrounding him and everything and the off-court stuff and whatever else, he does take the floor for the majority of the season. And he is a guy that's going to put up numbers, and he is going to be able to run an offense for you in nights where PG and or Kawhi are out. So I do think that he actually not only raises their ceiling a little bit, but I think even potentially more importantly, he really elevates their floor to where, with Harden in the mix, I couldn't see them being any lower than 7th. I couldn't. And I could see them as high as 3rd or 4th. And so I actually think the Harden thing is pretty important to them. Now, whether they actually have the assets to be able to get that done, it doesn't seem likely at the moment with what Daryl Morey's been saying. And he sounds like he wants to basically stand pat until a reasonable offer comes his way, which the Clippers probably cannot provide at all, unless they're going to put Terrence Mann or someone like that in the mix. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. They're a bit hard to judge while this Harden thing is still kind of up in the air. But without Harden, I'm just going to put them 7th. But again, with the injury question marks around PG and Kawhi, they could be anywhere between, let's say, 4th and 11th for mine.
That's not outrageous. And James Harden, man, I just wish I knew what he wanted. This is a bit of a side note, but like in your opinion, again, do a whole podcast on this. But what do you reckon he actually? I always thought he just wanted a franchise where he could control everything, because it'd be intoxicating those Houston years where he was the man apparently, and I think Daryl Morey's just said, no, I'm the man here in Philly, and you're not going to just push me around. So I wonder why, if he wants to go to the Clippers. I mean, Stephen Ballmer, like, it's a personality that comes out there. Kawhi and PG aren't overly vocal as like leaders, so I wonder, my at least take from as far away as I am is that he wants to go to the Clippers because he can be that guy that is the sort of leader in a way. I don't know. That's James Harden.